Hey, it's Mary Ellen. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Since we just started the new year, I thought it would be the perfect time to make a video on how to get started with your planner, especially if you're new to planning or you just got a new one and you're stuck. I think the biggest problem is that when you get a new planner, it looks perfect, it's empty, it looks untouched, and you don't want to mess it up. You bought it because you want to be more organized, but when you think about it, you don't really have a plan on how to set it up. It's a lot of pressure to make it look right from day one. So I'm just going to give you some basic tips on how to use it without getting overwhelmed. And by the way, I know a lot of you have probably started your planners already. This video is coming a little bit late, but the first thing I want you to do, especially if you have not started yet, is do a brain dump. Before you write in it, if you haven't yet, before you decorate it, before you do anything, I want you to step away from the planner and write down a list of everything you can think of that you want to track. What I like to do is think about what would make my life easier if I was tracking it in my planner. So that might be things like appointments or errands or phone calls or wellness stuff, meal planning, whatever makes sense for your life. Once you have that list, I want you to pause and look at it. You don't need to track everything that's on that list, at least not at first. Pick a few things that you actually struggle to keep up with and start with those. You need your planner to help reduce all of that clutter in your brain and not add to it. So let's start simple. If you're new to planning, I would recommend starting with just one planner. Even if you think you eventually want more than one planner, and I have several, and a lot of people do. But even if you think you want them, start with one planner that kind of encompasses everything. And then use it consistently. We need to get into the habit of using a planner before we get into the multiple planner thing. It took me years to get consistent using multiple planners, and I still struggle with it sometimes. So start with one, and once planning feels automatic and natural to you, then you can add more in, maybe next year, maybe this year sometime, but just start with the one. The next thing you need to do is decide on what to do with the space you have in your planner. Most planners come with some sort of organization already built into it, some sort of structure. So that might be daily boxes, columns, sections of some sort. You don't have to follow the layout perfectly, but you need to set it up according to your life. If your planner has multiple boxes per day, like a vertical planner, you might want to set it up morning, afternoon, evening, or home, work, personal, or to-dos, appointments, wellness, whatever makes sense for you. I know that seems like a lot of pressure to decide what goes into those categories at first. So if you're not ready to do that, then you could just treat your planner loosely. You can just write stuff in wherever you think, as long as you're using it. Just start with that and just write all over the place. If you can't make a decision, just start. And then if you need something that's on a specific day, just make sure it's on that day. The important thing is there's no right way to do this. It just has to make sense to you. You also might want to use sticky notes before you even put pen to paper. Sticky notes are super helpful for planning what belongs in each space. You can label them with things from your brain dump list, like the appointments, to-dos, whatever you have. And then you can stick them directly onto boxes or sections of the page. This helps you see if something feels too crowded, if a section needs more or less space, or if certain things make more sense grouped together. It takes the pressure off because nothing's permanent yet, and you can move things around until it feels right for you, for how you think, and how your week actually works. Once you're happy with where you put everything, then you can go in with a pen and fill it in. You might want to start with an erasable pen first or a pencil. I like the grabby erasable pens. I have a set of a bunch of different colors. The link is in the description box if you want to check those out. They might be helpful for the first month or two as you get used to your planner and you shift things around. After that, you could commit to regular pen, but honestly, some people just stick with the erasable pen forever and it works for them. By the way, if you're new to my channel, I post a mix of functional and decorative planner and journaling content. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, I would appreciate if you'd subscribe to my channel. I have a goal that I set in 2018 to get to 100,000 subscribers, and it's slow growing, but I just want to get there someday. So thanks for considering that. The next tip I have for you is to try to avoid planning too far in advance. It's perfectly fine if you want to write your appointments in, for later in the year, but what I'm talking about is decorating months in advance or setting things up months in advance, like setting up habit trackers or different sections that you can fill out later. I wouldn't do that at first. When you're new, planning far in advance is really going to work against you. Your plan is going to change as the year goes on, and that is perfectly normal. The way you use it in January is probably not the way you're going to be using it in June or October. Your life might change, and the way you track things might change too. You also might use it for a few weeks and decide you don't like having to track that specific thing or having that particular thing in that place. And you might just think, why did I do that? Now I have this whole thing set up and I don't want to use it in this way. You might start too detailed and want to simplify later. Or you might start simple and want to add more detail later. As the year goes on, you really learn what's best for you. Personally, I think the best way to start is start really simple and only track those really important things that you need to track. And then do that for a month or two till you get used to it. And if that's working, then add more things in as you go. It's kind of ironic that I'm saying this because I am someone who wants to set up my planner perfectly, but I'm also someone who couldn't keep up with many planners and many different ways I set up my planner because it was too detailed at first. So I would suggest, just like habit tracking, start small and build as you go. The next tip is you don't have to use every single box that's in your planner. A lot of planner layouts have sections for like water intake, meal planning, goals, habit tracking, stuff like that. That's very specific. You don't have to fill them out just because they're there. You can totally leave them blank. Also, you can change up these sections. Don't think that just because it says a certain thing on your page that you're supposed to do it that way. The planner brand does not know what your life is like and what you need. So maybe you don't need that specific thing. So you can slap a box sticker on top of that baby and call it something completely different and use it in a different way. Try to think outside the box. And this is kind of where that brain dump list comes in handy. So look at that list, see what you need to track. Can you cover up one of those sections that aren't, relevant to you? And if so, then use one of those other things you need to track and put it there. But you could also just leave those blank. Don't feel like you have to fill out the whole planner. There are no rules here. The next tip I have for you is if your planner has a sidebar on the weeks, use it as a flexible space. The sidebar doesn't have to be one thing forever. One week it might be for priorities. One week you might want some habit trackers there. If you're planning a party, you might want a guest list there. If you're going on vacation, you might want your packing list there. Or during a slower week, you might want to decorate it with stickers or leave it completely blank. I have always considered that a flexible space, and it's really worked for me over the years. I change it up all the time depending on what's going on in my life. The next tip is going to sound kind of weird coming from me. I am a decorative planner, although this year I am a little more functional than usual. But at my core, I am a true decorative planner. I love a lot of stickers. I love color, all that kind of stuff. Making my planner pretty keeps me using it. But what I'm going to suggest to you is to focus on function first and then decoration. Even for me, function has to come first or the whole thing's going to fall apart. A planner that looks great and doesn't help you get your life in order really isn't doing its job. You have to be able to find what you need fast on the page and have it work for your particular brain. Everyone's brain works differently. Once the functional part is in place, feel free to decorate it how you wish, because that just might be the thing that keeps you coming back to your planner. But really try to focus first on what the planner is essentially about, and that is getting your life together. Some people never decorate their planners, and that is totally fine as long as you're using it. Also, if you are wanting to decorate it, some people decorate it first before the week starts, and then they fill it out like during the week. And some people decorate it as they go, day by day. It's a very personal decision. I've always decorated it first. Some people say, well, how do you know if you have enough space for your plans? I'm not a really busy person. I am a single person living alone. My kids are grown up. I work at home. I have a separate work planner. So I don't need a lot in my planner. So I know how much space I need, but you may not know how much space you need yet. So if you're new, I would suggest kind of decorating as you go along, but it's basically whatever you feel like doing. We are at tip number 9. Let's talk about extra pages in your planner. So your planner comes with probably some extra pages like a year at a glance page or goals page or extra blank pages in the back or tracker pages that are blank or meal planning pages or just whatever. And they're usually pages for like the whole year. These extra pages can feel confusing at first because you're not even used to, your layout yet. And so you don't quite know what you need to track on these extra pages, because what are you even going to track on your regular page, your weekly page? It's normal to be confused by these. I am still sometimes confused, and sometimes I leave those blank anyway if I just don't feel like they're going to be useful for me. Sometimes I set them up and then forget about them, forget that I set it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have that recurring task list that I wanted to use on this particular page, but I forgot about it for 6 months out of the year, and that's normal too. You don't have to decide how to use every page right away, and you don't have to use those pages at all if you don't want to. You might come across something later in the year that you realize you want to keep track of, but it's not necessarily a weekly thing. Like maybe you want a cleaning schedule and you want it on a separate page. Or maybe you want to track what you're reading in there or something like that. And that's what those extra pages are good for. So they're there if you need them, but you don't have to figure it out up front. The last tip I have for you is to make planning part of your routine. After all, your planner only works if you look at it. It sounds obvious, but I know how easy it is to forget about it. So I would suggest a simple planner routine, like 10 minutes in the morning or 10 minutes in the evening, or both. Just whatever you do, do it at the same time every day if you can. And if your planner is sitting on a shelf, you probably won't remember to use it at first. So I would suggest keeping it either open somewhere or visible so that you know where it is and it reminds you to check it. So that's basically it. Your planner is just a place where you write things down so you don't forget them. It doesn't have to look good. You don't have to have a special system. I know you see all these YouTube videos, including mine probably, and you're thinking, I want it to be perfect. I want to set it up just like so-and-so. But try not to overthink it. I know if you're a perfectionist, that's hard, but try not to overthink it. When I started planning, I got stuck in the beginning with I knew what I needed to track, but where in my planner do I put it? And I wanted to put it in the very perfect place. And as I went on, I realized that the place you put it in doesn't really matter all that much. And that's something you can tweak as you go along. So try not to be frozen with that indecision on where to put it on the page, and just put it on the page. And hey, most planners are weekly. So if you don't like the way you set it up this week, then you have a fresh start next week, and the week after that, and the week after that. And you keep getting fresh starts all year, so you can change it as you go along. So it's no big deal. Just start, because you won't know how to use it unless you actually use it. So if you have a new planner, please do me a favor and write something in it today, even if it's just something small, because the more you use it, the easier it gets. If you have any questions or you're stuck on something, please leave it in the comments below. I do my best to answer questions. I probably can't answer all questions, but I try. And I do read all the comments, so thank you for that. I hope you guys have a great day and a wonderful week, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.